If the first challenge of our modern lives is the digital shutdown, that hollow, vacant exhaustion from too much screen time, then the second is its hyperactive cousin, the internal cacophony. Picture your mind not as an empty room, but as one crammed with people, all shouting at once. In one corner, your inner critic relentlessly replays a minor mistake you made this morning. Near the door, a frantic taskmaster chants an endless, looping to-do list. By the window, a nervous fortune teller spins terrifying tales of what might go wrong tomorrow, next week, next year. And in the center of it all, a regretful historian pores over the unchangeable pages of the past. This overwhelming, relentless chatter is mental noise, a state of constant internal agitation that leaves us feeling profoundly depleted, even when our bodies are perfectly still. This inner static is not a sign of a broken mind. It is an understandable, almost predictable response to a world that constantly vies for our attention, pulling our focus in 1,000 different directions. We are conditioned to live in a state of forward planning and backward glancing, rarely inhabiting the only moment that is truly real, the one happening right now. The great paradox is that in our attempts to silence this noise by telling ourselves to just stop thinking about it or calm down, we often amplify it, giving the shouting voices a new subject to fixate on. Our own failure to find peace. But what if the solution wasn't about silencing the noise at all? What if you possessed a sort of remote control for your mind, not with a mute button, but with a channel button? A tool that allows you to gently shift your focus away from the chaotic talk show of your thoughts and tune into a different broadcast, one that has been playing quietly in the background all along the broadcast of your senses. This is the promise of a simple yet profound technique known as the 5-4-3-2-1 nature drill. It is a practical method for grounding yourself, a deliberate exercise in pulling your awareness out of the turbulent spiral of abstract thought and anchoring it firmly in the tangible reality of the here and now. To truly understand how to quiet the noise, we must first appreciate where it comes from. Neuroscientists have identified a specific system in our brain called the default mode network, DMN. Think of it as the brain's autopilot. When you're not actively focused on a specific external task, like reading a book, driving in heavy traffic, or having an intense conversation, the DMN fires up. It's the part of you that mind wanders, daydreams, reflects on your identity, worries about social interactions, and replays past events. While this network is crucial for self-awareness and creativity, our modern lifestyle has thrown it into overdrive. We spend so much time physically idle but mentally adrift that our DMN is almost constantly active, generating a relentless internal monologue. This is the neurological source of the noise, a brain network designed for occasional reflection that is now running 24/7. When we are caught in the powerful currents of an overactive DMN, we are, in a very real sense, living in a simulation. Our reality becomes the world constructed by our thoughts, not the world that physically surrounds us. We are no longer inhabiting our bodies in the present moment. We are merely passengers in a mind that is hurtling through abstract timelines of past and future. This profound disconnect from physical reality is the fertile soil in which anxiety and a sense of alienation take root. We worry about things that might happen instead of experiencing what is happening. The 5-4-3-2-1 exercise is a direct and powerful intervention. It is a conscious command to the brain to disengage the default mode network and activate its counterpart, the task-positive network, the system that engages when we are focused on the here and now. The simple sensory-based tasks of this drill interrupt the feedback loop of worry and pull our awareness, forcefully and gracefully, back into the real world. The practice begins with a single, deliberate act. You stop, you cease walking, you breathe, and you commit to a full sensory landing in the present moment. First, you engage your sight. Acknowledge 5 things you can see. This is not a rushed inventory. It is an exercise in deep observation. Do not just see a tree. Look at it. See the way its leaves, in their infinite variety of green, dance and shimmer in the breeze. See the rugged, wrinkled texture of its bark, a topographical map of its years. Look down. See a single, unassuming weed pushing its way through a crack in the pavement, an embodiment of persistence. See the architecture of a spider's web, a miracle of engineering glistening with morning dew. See the long, dramatic shadow your own body casts upon the ground, a fleeting companion in this moment. By truly seeing, you are telling your brain that the details of the present world are more compelling than the ghosts of your thoughts. Next, you draw your awareness closer to the boundary of your own body. Feel 4 things you can touch. Let your attention travel to the points of physical contact. Feel the solid, unyielding pressure of the earth beneath the soles of your shoes, a constant reminder that you are supported. Reach out and touch the rough, cool surface of a brick wall or the surprisingly smooth face of a large leaf. Feel the temperature of the air on your exposed skin. Is it a cool whisper or a warm embrace? Then, feel the texture of the clothing against your arm, the soft friction of cotton or wool. This is not just about touch. It's about reaffirming your physical presence. You are not just a floating consciousness. You are a body in a world of textures, temperatures, and pressures. You are here. From the physical, you move to the auditory. Listen for 3 things you can hear. This requires a special kind of attention, a filtering of the world's symphony into individual instruments. At first, you might only hear the most dominant sound, the drone of distant traffic, perhaps, but push your awareness further. Listen in layers. What is the closest sound? It might be the soft rustle of your own clothing as you breathe, or the quiet crunch of leaves under your feet. Now, listen past that. What is in the middle distance? Perhaps the cheerful, complex chatter of sparrows in a nearby bush, or the rhythmic squeak of a child's swing set in a playground. Finally, stretch your hearing as far as it can go. Can you detect the faint hum of an airplane high above? A sound that is more of a feeling in your ears than a distinct noise? By mapping the soundscape around you, you create a 3-dimensional auditory model of your present location, pulling your focus out of your head and into the world's rich sonic texture. Now, you engage the most primal and evocative of all senses. Identify 2 things you can smell. This can be the most challenging step, as we often move through the world olfactorily numb. But it is also one of the most rewarding. Inhale deeply, not just with your lungs, but with your full attention. Is there the damp, earthy scent of soil after a recent rain? The sweet, almost spicy fragrance of pine needles baking in the sun? Perhaps you can catch the faint, clean perfume of cut grass from a lawn mown yesterday? Don't be discouraged if nothing is immediately obvious. Walk over to a plant and gently rub a leaf between your fingers. Does it release a green, peppery scent? Smell is the sense most directly linked to memory and emotion, a potent key that can unlock a sense of place and time like no other. Finally, you bring your awareness to the most intimate and personal of sensations. Acknowledge one thing you can taste. This is the final anchor, the one that grounds your consciousness fully within the confines of your own body. It doesn't require a snack. You can simply notice the lingering ghost of the coffee you drank an hour ago. You can take a sip of water and focus entirely on the sensation of its cool, clean passage. Or you can simply notice the taste of the air itself. As you draw it into your mouth, is it crisp, fresh, humid? This final step completes the sensory roll call. In the span of a few minutes, you have methodically and intentionally piloted your awareness through every channel of perception, leaving no room for the noisy chatter of the DMN to dominate. The goal of this practice is not to achieve a perfectly silent, empty mind. That is an unrealistic and often frustrating ambition. The goal is to fill your mind so completely with the vibrant, detailed, and undeniable reality of the present moment that the noise is simply crowded out. The internal chatter doesn't vanish. It just loses its audience. You have given your attention to something more interesting. The 5-4-3-2-1 drill is not a battle against your thoughts. It is a re-education of your attention. It is a way to practice the lost art of being present. True stillness is not found in the absence of sound, but in the wholeness of your presence, amidst the beautiful, chaotic symphony of life. The next time the noise in your head becomes a deafening roar, remember that you hold the power to change the channel. You need only to step outside and begin the simple, sacred act of counting your way back to the world.